and it's time to deep dive on connected products and business model innovation. So our first case study, we have with us Mr. A.V. Suresh, President, International Operations and the CEO, Forbes Professional, Eureka Forbes, and his case study will be on business model innovation. Please put your hands together to welcome on stage Mr. A.V. Suresh.
Good afternoon, distinguished delegates. The subject is Internet of Things, and I'm here to talk about Eureka Forbes. The reason being simple, because unless you have a business, there's no Internet of anything. And the Internet of Things, in our opinion, is not just technology. It's more about linking our own people with the customers. And we in Eureka Forbes have been working towards this on various projects. So I bring to you the greetings and best wishes from all the Eurochamps of Eureka Forbes, and I'm happy to be here presenting on their behalf on what we have done a little bit on the Internet of Things. But before I go on to that, for those of you who don't know about Eureka Forbes, are you all aware about Eureka Forbes? You are. But I still thought I must talk a little bit about Eureka Forbes because all of you must be aware of AquaGuard or EuroClean, but we're a little beyond that these days. And I do hope that each one of you are our customers of AquaGuard and are satisfied, happy customers. And if you're going ahead with Internet of Things, is to make you happier as days go by. Just to give you a quick glance about Eureka Forbes. We were started in the year 1982 between Forbes and Campbell, which was then a Tata Group of company, and Electrolux of Sweden. And we introduced vacuum cleaners and water purifiers when such a product never existed. And as a matter of fact, the initial market report said this will be a no-go situation and it's a wrong decision to go ahead with it. Similarly, I think Internet of Things too, when it started maybe 5 years back or 7 years back, people thought it's more a gimmick, it's more a sort of a fad. But I think as days go by, we are realizing the importance and the need for such things to go on along with us. Eureka Forbes primarily has three distinct sales lines. One is the direct sales, where we go house to house, still continue to do house to house, which we started with, selling water purifiers, vacuum cleaners, air purifiers, and electronic security systems. We have the consumer division, where we sell through the retail, and we also have our brand AquaGuard recently introduced into the retail division. Then we have the Forbes Professional, which is the industrial part of our business. And then we have the service, customer service vertical, and we also have our own manufacturing facilities called Aquamall in 3 different places. In Eureka Forbes, besides selling products and besides meeting the consumer needs, we do a lot of social service too, because we believe providing safe drinking water is a service by itself, though it's a business too. And our vision has been on how we could provide safe drinking water to every Indian across the country, not just by ourselves, but along with the others in the same business, same industry, with the same dream of providing safe drinking water. We have the pleasure, we have the privilege of running a call center, which is manned completely by differently able people in Chembur and Bombay. We have about 92 people working there. I'm also happy to say that 4 people got married between the same group. There are 4 married couples there in the same team of the differently able people. And what's important is that we brought a lot of pride and happiness into their life and their family's life. And it's a story which is worth hearing from individuals. And for those of you from various organizations, in case you all want to set up such a thing, we would be happy to do that free of cost, because we've had our experience over the last 5 years of running such a call center successfully, because the customer on the other side does not know whom he or she is talking to. They still shout, they still use words, they still are aggressive. But these people on this side who are differently able and who have a tough time every day in their life do not at any point of time succumb to it and say, sir, don't shout because I'm not able properly. They take it that way, they behave like any one of us, and they have been very, very consistent. And unlike typical call centers, I think the turnover has been least in this particular operations. We also have this thing called Eureka Forbes Institute Environment, where we provide a lot of services in terms of water, in terms of stretching out to people who are in calamities, disaster relief. We also provide environment-related quiz to schools. So we do a lot of environment-related programs. And in case, again, the reason for saying this here today is I know there are many industries, many companies represented here. In case you all want to do something in this regard, we'd be very happy to partner with you. And these things we do it free of cost. It's not something where we do it as a business. And this is the latest initiative. I don't know how many of you are aware of it. This is a thing called Jal-Daan, an initiative which we have started very recently. I would say, though I'm from Eureka Forbes, I would still say it's a very noble initiative because we believe that we are privileged to be what we are, but there are many who are not as privileged as we are. So I'd like to just play this audiovisual for you. It's a small screen on the big screen. You could just see that for a couple of minutes. Sound? Can you start from the beginning with the sound, please? And not to worry about time. There's a big timer out here which is showing me how many minutes and seconds are left. Problems? See, even though you have Internet of Things, we can't play an audiovisual clearly, straightforward. It does happen. You have an issue, forget it. Let me keep going. All right. So basically, this Jal-Daan is something where I can only tell you what's going on the screen. The child is taking 5 liters of water in that container and giving it to the security and his family. What we're trying to say here is, for those of us who are privileged to have a water purification system in our house, can we give just 5 liters free of cost? Because it's not going to cost you anything extra. The same water purifier you have at home, the same aquaguard you have at home.
Mom, छोड़ो ना, छोटी सी बात है.
छोटी सी बात पर है बड़ी शुरुआत.
Okay. So basically we are trying to say that can we give 5 liters of water to people who are not so privileged like us? Your servants, your security, your carpenter, your driver, or whoever else. So can we take a pledge on that? Ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, can we take a pledge? We give 5 liters of water to people who don't have it. Because it's not going to cost you anything. It's just going to be an opportunity to wipe out a lot of sins we all have in our hearts. And also to create a healthy, happy, and a successful and a powerful nation. Okay, on Eureka Forbes, in the Forbes Pro solution, which is an institutional business, we have multiple verticals on cleaning solutions, on water treatment plants. I don't know how many of you are aware. We also have water projects where we do the sewage treatment plants, water treatment plants, desalination plants, etc. So Eureka Forbes has gone beyond just consumer products into projects, and we also have the institutional water purification systems. We provide community water treatment plants. We install community water treatment plants in urban slum. We install it in rural areas, along with corporates, along with NGOs, and along with the government. So that's another part of our business. And then we decided to go into the iBot control system. Why did we decide to go into iBot control system? We basically said if we need to really enhance our capacity to reach out to markets which are beyond our eyesight, we need something to work on, something which could help us understand what's happening at the ground level. And that's the reason we decided to go to the iBot system. And I'm happy to say that we have our partners here with us, Ravi and Sanjay. Where are they? Yeah, they have been working with us. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Sanjay, for working along with us. And we've been learning in the process. We've gone through many iterations. And today I'm happy to say that we have come up and we have progressed quite a lot to the stage of implementation, which I shall show you as we go along. The iBot system, as we all know, I think must have seen the stall out there, is GSM Blaze. It's cloud computing, where you could get all your data from the cloud. It's real-time information. It's not something which comes once in 24 hours or once in 2 days. It has historical data stored for any references, and also it is tamper alert and tamper proof. To a large extent, it's a self-sustained, inbuilt, complete system. What we have done with the iBot system is we have gotten to setting up water kiosk in railway stations. We've got about 150 stations we are setting up in Karnataka and in eastern India, which will subsequently go to a few thousands. It's part of the IRCTC program of setting up 10,000 such kiosks across the country. So we have set up our iBot system along with the team in these machines, primarily to understand what's happening, because these are installed in remote stations. We are not able to really monitor on a day-to-day basis what goes on there. This helps us monitor what happens. And I could share this presentation. It's going to be left with them. You could have a look at it later if you need to. But I'll just go through a few of the things. This is the configuration of the iBot system, which basically can do it with the internal regular consumer products also. This is a system in which the whole water treatment plant works. And these are all automatic dispensing system with smart cards or with coin slot machines. And this is how the iBot system looks in the system per se. There are 2 iBots installed in each of the systems because there are 2 units running for redundancy, and we make sure that the unit is running continuously to provide safe drinking water. The parameters we monitor through the iBot system are the flow of water, the quantity of water which is consumed, the status of the machine, because this gives you a proactive status of the machine, and we know when a machine is working or not working, so that we could send our service mechanics as quickly as we could. So there's continuity of supply, because these are public places where we cannot afford to have water stopped for even 5 minutes at a time. So this gives us a proactive service alert. It is tamper alert in case somebody is trying to work and cut across the wires or system. It gives us a tamper alert. It also has a setting facility from remote monitoring. If somebody is not following the basic quality standards, we have the ability to shut off the system from our central monitoring station at Bangalore. So they can't really, if the unit is short-circuited or if they're trying to bypass something, that gets stopped. And of course, the calibration of sensors also are done remote. And most important, we also monitor our collections of the sale on a remote basis from our central system. So this is how the screenshot looks when you log in. And then we go on to the home page of Eureka, Forbes and the railway systems. And these are the places where the iBot is located right now, which is more in Karnataka, and now it's going to the eastern region also. I think we're in the process of installing about 300 iBot systems across these railway stations. This is how the screen looks in terms of the various functioning of each of the elements of the system. It tells you about the water flow, it tells you about the power, it tells you about the sensors, it tells you about the purification level. You cannot measure the microbiological levels because that needs a proper testing. But if all the other parameters are right, it's automatically microbiologically safe. So this is a complete system which helps us monitor the plants absolutely remote. And this gives us also the contact details of the person to where it goes, who's the person responsible for the respective systems, and also who's the person monitoring with their email ID for constant connect and also the mobile phone. So that way it's a comprehensive system which works across for all our things. So what do we intend doing with the iBot next? It's something where we said it's not just for this application. We believe, though the Indian market is not yet mature, but worldwide this is one thing which is catching up. Renting and pay-per-use is a model which is catching up worldwide. People do not invest in CapEx any longer. It's more on OpEx. And also the reason they invest in OpEx is you don't have the botheration of maintenance and service thereafter. And for companies, it also helps in terms of writing off the expenses completely for the year, which keeps your balance sheet clean. So we are planning to use this iBot system in our cleaning equipments, whereby we could also measure the hours it's used and charge the consumer on a monthly basis based on usage. Like I said, we have our community water plans, where we charge about 50 paisa per liter, 10 rupees for a 20-liter can. and we are planning to use it. We already set up a few on trial basis, which has been working well. That helps us monitor the condition of the plant. These are remote places which are about 700, 800 kilometers deep from our closest branch, but we are able to monitor that through the GSM iBot system, and thanks to the GSM availability in those places today. And we also have, like I said, the effluent water treatment plant and water treatment plant, sewage treatment plant, where we take the annual maintenance contract, and these are being monitored also through iBot system. So the use of the iBot system is plenty. It all left to the imagination we have, because we believe what new technology does is create new opportunities to do a job the customer wants done. Very often, the customers may not even know they want it done, but these technologies, be it the Internet of Things, or be it the iBot system, or be it any new technology, like I said in the beginning, is to help our employees, like the Colonel was saying, and our consumers. Thank you very much. I finished 5 seconds ahead of time. If there are any technical questions, I have my colleague Sanjay sitting out there from the iBot system. He's most welcome to answer it. And if you all want to have a look at the presentation or the presentation forwarded to you all, I could ask the organizer to send it to you. Thank you.
Do we have any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we do. Could we have the mic passed on, please? Yes.
If it's technical, you're back. If it's otherwise.
What is the cost of each such system?
The initial development cost is one aspect, which has been done already. But the cost varies between 800 to about 1,500 rupees per system. What we have been also looking at, some people asked me this question when you had a coffee break, how do you monetize this? I mean, how do you get it back? In my opinion, in our opinion, Eureka Forbes, it's an investment which you're doing, one for the consumer's sake, because if you're able to keep the machine of the consumer run continuously, they're happy. And if they're happy, they're going to recommend your products, indirectly sales go up. The second way of looking at it, the annual maintenance contract. If you're in constant touch with our customer through this mechanism, it will help us enhance our annual maintenance contract. Third and most important thing is that you have the filters, you have the UV lamp, you have the other systems in our AquaGuard, for example. So these systems, as and when they are required for replacement today, there's no system to alert the customer. And when we go and tell them it's due for replacement, they say, no, it's working well, you leave me, pani aata hai abhi, just leave it as it is. So it also helps in terms of replacing the spare parts and consumables when it's due. And all this, hopefully, gives back the revenue which monetizes by itself.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. See, desalination plant is something we are working on. As you know, there are not many projects happening in India for the last 2 years. This desalination plant we've been setting up in a place in Philippines. It's a plant which is being set up in Philippines. The cost varies depending on the capacity required and also the distance from where you go to tap the water from the sea and the output water which is taken. There's no fixed cost which I can tell you which is the desalination cost. Per liter cost, of course, would vary between 10 to 30 paisa.
What's the capacity of that you're proposing now?
So it can vary. Capacity can go like in Chennai, I think they go about 6.3 million.
Yeah, that is for the Chennai corporations, that is around 20 million.
6.3 million liters of water.
20,000, yeah, okay.
I wouldn't know the cost. But I just read it yesterday on the flight. 6.3 million liters of water is provided through the desalination plants in Chennai, which I think is a phenomenal achievement and being distributed. And that's one of the reasons Chennai, which is perennially dry, does not have too much of a water problem today. Thank you very much, and look forward to all of you joining our Jal-Daan movement of providing safe drinking water to our people who work for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. If I may please invite Mr. Suresh back on the stage as well for just a minute. Yes, sir. So we do have the final formality. I'm going to be inviting once again Mr. Amir Khan to please come on the stage to present a token of gratitude to Mr. A.V. Suresh. Well, let's have a huge round of applause once again for that.